Oh my God, I am so excited for this. Hello, my beautiful people. I am so excited to be here and be like sitting here and starting this whole thing. What a time to be alive. We are turning the page in the Doc Heid cook world, and I'm just really excited that you guys are going to be a part of it. So let's go. After like 3 years of being on the internet, it still feels weird to like introduce myself to a camera. So hey, so you guys might already know me or might have already come from Instagram. So you might know me as Doc Heid Cook, but my name is Heidi. I am a doctor of physical therapy and a certified athletic trainer. And now I specialize in lifestyle and behavior change for women to help them not only feel more comfortable and confident in their bodies, learn to love and accept and respect their bodies, but also to help them reduce their overall chronic illness risk and just feel better and allow you to go live your most full, authentic life. And that is what I do now. 2022 was like the year of scaling, right, our business. We've helped so many women, hundreds of women. We helped hundreds of women in 2022, which is crazy to even think about. I like those words coming out of my mouth don't even feel real. But coming into 2023, I'm really excited to just kind of reconnect with different kind of creative outlets and mediums in order to reach more people, more women, add more people to our community, and really just help show you and give you those tangible skills that not only help you develop your self-love, but also your self-care, because self-care is healthcare, my friends. And we're going to talk about what that means in much further depth as we develop this channel. But I'm really excited to just kind of start something from scratch again. We worked so hard to build our community over on Instagram, and it has just turned into the most wonderful community of women who are every day showing up to better themselves and their health in a way that feels good and feels authentic to them. And I'm really excited to kind of do it over here in a different way. I'm excited to be able to share some more long form content with you guys. I'm excited to share some more of the ins and outs of my day. And I'm really excited to just develop this platform with you guys for you. So that is the biggest thing, is that this platform, this community is for you. And so I'm excited to help build it together. So a little about me, if you don't already know, like I said, I'm a doctor of physical therapy, certified athletic trainer, and now I specialize in women's lifestyle and behavior change because I feel like there is not somebody out there that is just teaching women at the ground truth how to take care of themselves, and their health, prioritize themselves and their health from a lens of love and respect for your body, not hatred of it. Nobody is teaching you how to care for your body without having to follow some plan or program, which cultivates this giant roller coaster of either on a plan, off a plan, on a plan, off a plan, when they are ultimately unsustainable. So what does it look like at the ground level to actually take care of yourself, your health, and prioritize those things based on love and respect for the one vessel that we get? So my journey really started in undergrad. I was no longer an athlete and lost all sight of how to take care of myself. I had no idea what it was like to go to the gym and how to fuel my body without this kind of external component of sports performance on the other side. Or just utilizing sport as a means to exercise my body. And so when that was taken away, I felt very lost. And so I actually gained a lot of weight, and I did not know how to take care of myself, but I felt really uncomfortable in my skin. I was carrying new weight that I had never carried before. It felt very uncomfortable. I remember being like winded going up and down the stairs to my boyfriend's apartment. I hated it, truthfully. And the only place I had to turn was the internet, right? What do you do when you have a question? You go to the internet. So I went down a deep, dark rabbit hole of how to lose weight, how to lose weight quickly. So I pretty much tried every diet under the sun, and I lost weight, and I lost weight quickly, and I quickly developed a very disordered relationship with not only food and exercise, but with my body as well. I was taking daily body check pictures so I could compare, this day to this day, what's shrinking, what's not, and beating myself up if I was a little bit bloated and was like, oh, I shouldn't have had that whatever last night, or I shouldn't have done XYZ, or I should have ran further on the treadmill, or whatever, if I saw anything that I didn't like in those photos. So I had a really scary wake-up call one morning on an early morning workout, 5 a.m. workout with a friend of mine, and I had pushed myself too hard and didn't eat dinner the night before and didn't eat breakfast that morning. And I looked at myself in the mirror after I finally got myself up off of the locker room floor, and I was ghost white, like ghost white. I had another athletic trainer come in and try and give me some Gatorade to try and replenish my body and give me some sugars, because that's what I needed. And I had a really hard time. I did not even want to drink the Gatorade that she gave me because of the sugar that was in the Gatorade. While I'm looking at this ghostly image of myself in the mirror, and I could not even will myself to put that Gatorade in my mouth, which is crazy to even think about. Like, my body needed sugar, it needed carbohydrates, it was depleted. I could literally barely stand up on my own, and couldn't bring myself to do it. Finally, I looked at myself in the mirror and realized I was not practicing what I was preaching. The image that was staring back at me was not the picture of health. It was actually quite the opposite. And there is no way that I could convince myself that the person looking back at me was healthy in any stretch of the word, physically or mentally. And I had a really big wake-up call that I'm sitting here spouting to all of my student athletes to take care of themselves, take care of their health, take care of their mental health, right? So that they can perform on the field. And I couldn't even follow my own advice and do the same. And it's still kind of hard for me to talk about that time, because I was just at war with myself and my body, and I was doing some really unhealthy things in order to change that. And the craziest thing was, at that time, at the time of my scariest wake-up call, I was below the goal weight I had set for myself, and I was no happier with my body. In fact, I think I was even more critical of my body, because I spent months and months and months criticizing it and picking it apart on a daily basis. So moving forward, after that moment, I took a step back and I decided I really needed to figure out, how do I reconnect with myself and my health? Granted, that came at a very pivotal time in my life. That was in the fall. I got engaged that spring, graduated from Boise State, found out I got into physical therapy school, was moving to Portland to move in with, at that time, my fiance, and I had this opportunity to kind of like start fresh. So I spent that whole summer trying to figure out and reconnect with, what does it mean to appropriately fuel my body? What does it look like for me to not be on a diet or plan or program? What does it look like to exercise and exercise for me? But I still hadn't quite figured it out yet. And that light bulb moment still hadn't quite clicked in, and I was still kind of grasping at straws. I was thrust into this environment where I was pushed, right? I was pushed physically, mentally, emotionally, in ways that I had never been before, right? PT school was no joke. I experienced anxiety for my very first time when I was in grad school, had my first panic attack, and I still hadn't quite figured it out yet. I hadn't quite figured out how to take care of myself. I was still kind of in the middle of my own health journey, while I was also being thrust into this brand new environment over here. It was very overwhelming. But then we started to learn about, at the ground truth, what health really was, and what were these evidence-based things that were actually making a significant impact on your overall health. And when I speak about overall health, I mean the things that matter, right? The markers and the measures that matter, right? Our cardiovascular health, our mental health, our cognitive function and ability, our muscular strength and our functional independence, right? All of these things, we were learning what forms of exercise, nutrition, what inputs were actually creating the outcomes we were looking for, right? At a much deeper level than just physique or inches or pounds or pant sizes. And all of a sudden I had this huge light bulb moment. I was able to view the behaviors of exercise, of fueling my body, of understanding the inputs that I'm giving to my body are going to create the outputs that I'm after, right? Reduced anxiety, better mental state, right? Improved mood regulation, improved stress regulation, which is huge considering the stressful environment that I was in. And all of these things started to click in, and I saw it in myself. I saw it not only in the relief that it was giving me in terms of the thoughts that I was having about my body on a day-to-day basis, but also when I was able to make that switch, the consistency in my efforts in those behaviors themselves were also much more consistent and were much improved. And I was able to go about it in a way that felt really good to my body. Fast forward, I was working in a skilled nursing facility, and I realized that about 75-80% of my caseload at that time was all preventable lifestyle illness related. And that was a huge wake-up call to me. Like, how were we missing the mark so much as healthcare providers, as a healthcare system, where all of these individuals did not have to be sitting in front of me right now if they were just appropriately captured 20, 30, 40 years before. And then, seeing the absolute misinformation that was being spewed across social media at the time just lit a fire in me. I was like, if we don't get a handle on this, if we don't actually make an impact on how women are viewing, treating, and going about impacting their bodies and their overall health, we are going to be in a terrible place 20 years from now. Because truthfully, the information that was out there, the information that was available to our moms, grandmas, sisters, aunts, right, was all dieting. The only solution that was being given to women at that time were diets. That was being sold as the only solution to improve your health. So we have to do better, right? We are no longer going to live in the low carb, low fat, low whatever, low sugar eras that our moms, grandmas, sisters, aunts all lived through, right? Now we're creating a new era where we're discovering what works for us within our own lives, instead of having to shove your life in a tiny box, figuring out how to make health fit into your life and what health promoting behaviors look like woven into the everyday fabric of your life, and all through the lens of love and care and respect for your body, because you can't hate yourself into changing. And so I am so excited to share not only my own journey, what I do day to day, what that looks like for me, but also how you can make improvements for you and really just create this community of women who are on this journey of loving, caring, and respecting themselves, their bodies, their minds, and doing it in a long-term and sustainable way. I'm here to spill all the tea on the evidence-based approach of how to make that fit into your life and how to change your behaviors for good so that you can feel your best on the inside out. Thank you for sitting here and listening to me ramble about my own journey, about where this is going. Like I said, I think it's going to be a bit of a metamorphosis over time as I learn this platform, as I get to experiment with, different ways of creating content and getting this information out to you. And I'm just really excited, like I said, to go on this journey with you and create something really amazing. Let's do this.